we are right back into the action for another day of the week. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Chasing That Paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. Ready to rock and roll here today. So coming off a 2-2 effort yesterday, I think we can do a little bit better than that. Today, we hit that under on Monday Night Football. No sweat on that. And the Celtics money line. But we will look for a little bit of profit here today. So 5 total picks, 3 from the NBA, 2 from the NHL. Last Tuesday, I had 5 picks, went 5-0. So we're going to try to do that again today. Before we get into the picks, guys, if you're watching on YouTube right now, do me a favor. Right down there, there's a like button. Right down there, there's a subscribe button. Give those each a click. All right, guys, let's get right into the action. That's enough small talk. Marquee game of the night in the NBA. LeBron is returning to Cleveland. Lakers and Cavs. This game has a total of 225.5. Give me the under in this one. A lot of key stats aligning on the defensive end of the court. So check this out. Opponent EFG shooting percentage over the last 10 games of the season. 2nd and 3rd. 1st and 7th in points allowed per 100 possessions for these teams, both limiting free throw attempts as well. 1st and 3rd in opponent free throw attempt rate. A lot of great defense from these teams lately. And check out these Cavs games. 4 of the last 5 Cleveland games have stayed under 200 points. Just 203 points scored in the game that didn't stay under 200. Cavs allowing a league low 103.4 points per game at home. Let's hope the low scoring pattern continues tonight in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, next up we go down to beautiful Miami, Florida. The Detroit Pistons in 10. I'm going to take a shot on those Pistons coming in as a plus 8.5 point underdog. So dig into the numbers here. It might surprise you to hear that the Pistons have had the much better offense compared to the Heat over the last 10 games. Check out the numbers. They rank higher than Miami in effective field goal shooting percentage, where Miami ranks 25th. They rank higher in free throw attempt rate, turnover percentage, offensive rebound percentage, and points allowed, and points per 100 possessions, where Miami ranks 29th. Their offense sucks. Meanwhile, the Heat, they're not really pulling away in their wins. They have an average win margin of 7.3 points. That's tied for the lowest in the NBA with the Houston Rockets. They only have 2 double-digit wins on the season. Heat are also just 1-3 against the spread in the second game of a back-to-back. Small sample size. The sample size needs to start somewhere, though. So maybe a tough spot for Miami traveling back home after playing in Memphis there last night. So give me the Pacers plus 8.5 down in Miami. Next up, bit of a trendy pick here. I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets minus 4.5 with the Dallas Mavericks in 10. Very impressive win by Dallas last night. Beat up on the Phoenix Suns. But check this out. Trend of the day. The Mavs are 1-10 against the spread after a win this season. So not a lot of consistency from Dallas, who is also struggling in the second game of back-to-backs. They had a push versus Orlando back in October. Since then, in the second game of back-to-backs, a loss to Washington as a 6-point favorite, a loss to Houston as a 6.5-point favorite, and a 9-point loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. And here we are tonight, traveling after a big win at home versus Phoenix last night to play at elevation in Denver. Maybe not ideal. Then you dig into some home-away shooting splits. The Nuggets are 4th in EFG shooting percentage at home. Dallas is 4th last in opponent EFG shooting percentage on the road. Denver also allowing 12 fewer points per game at home. They are much better on their home court, so I will take them to cover that number, minus 4.5. All right, next up we move to the ice, and we're going to take a big swing with this one. Give me the Detroit Red Wings plus 195 in Tampa Bay versus the Lightning. This matchup is closer than these odds indicate. Dig into the analytics. It's pretty close here. Expected goals for percentage over the last 10 games. 4th versus 6th. 4th is Tampa Bay, but right behind them at 6. You know, not a whole lot separating these teams lately. Detroit also 3rd in shot differential in that span. Tampa Bay down there at 16th. Interesting goaltending matchup. Husso, the pride of Finland. Vasilevsky, the pride of Russia. Both have been fairly average, to be fair, but Husso has a better goals against average and better save percentage on the season. Vasilevsky's numbers oddly worse at home this season. And Detroit is playing ultra disciplined hockey, the second fewest penalty minutes in the NHL. That's key. It will be key to stay out of the box versus this lightning power play. So let's hope we get a bounce or two and the Red Wings can pull off the upset. Already a handful of wins as an underdog here this season. We're moving right along here. We're going to wrap things up. The final pick of the day, maybe the game of the night in the NHL. We have the Dallas Stars playing host to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Give me the home team Stars, a small dog, a minus money dog, minus 102. So the analytics edge absolutely goes to Dallas in this one. Last 10 games, they rank higher in expected goals for percentage, high danger chances for percentage, and shot differential. Better special teams as well. This is a real strength of this Dallas Stars team. Top 5 in power play and on a penalty kill this season. Stars, a bit of a trend here. Stars haven't lost consecutive games at home all season. They're coming off a loss at home in a shootout to the Minnesota Wild. So they tend to bounce back when they're on their home ice. We're getting them as an underdog here? Absolutely. Give me the Dallas Stars minus 102 versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. So there you have it, guys. That might be a record for the show. 5 picks in 5 minutes. Okay, so if you're looking to tail, if you're looking to fade any of those picks, the choice quite simply is yours. I recommend placing your action over at BetMGM. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Kick off your day of sports betting with the king of sportsbooks. Sign up with BetMGM using bonus code VIBONUS, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. That's VIBONUS. All one word, no spaces, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Yeah, ice dog, baby. I've hit on a couple ice dogs here this season. The Philadelphia Flyers. Last week, a nice hit for us. So I was doing some thinking over the weekend. What is the most incompetent of all the professional sports? You know, us sports fans, we have a right to complain. That's what being part of a sports fan is, right? We invest a lot of time and a lot of money into watching these things. And, you know, there's a lot of complaints about every sport. The NFL, you know, the officiating is awful. The NBA, this load management horse shit. Major League Baseball doesn't know how to market its own sport. UFC, the fighter pay stuff. I think there's some legit complaints there, but it's not even close. The far and away winner of the most incompetent professional sport is professional boxing. Allow me to explain. So if I asked any casual sports fan to name off a couple of current fighters, a couple of current boxers, they're probably going to say Tyson Fury and Canelo. Maybe Triple G, they know him from fighting Canelo. Don't even start with this Jake Paul horse shit. He doesn't even box boxers. But here's my point. So Tyson Fury, this is supposed to be the baddest man in the world, the heavyweight champion of the world. He's supposed to be the biggest attraction in the sport. It's a big event every time this guy is fighting. That is not the case. Do you know that Tyson Fury fought on Saturday? You know, I'm pretty in tune to what's going on in the sports world. Yet I'm on my phone Saturday morning, some World Cup stuff going on and whatnot. And I'm seeing Tyson Fury fights today. Tyson Fury fights in a couple of hours. This guy's supposed to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest star in the sport. But yes, indeed, Tyson Fury did fight. And it's not just that. It was a completely meaningless fight. Why would anyone care about this? Tyson Fury was a minus 2,000 favorite versus a guy named Derek Chisora. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm probably dead wrong on that. And that guy was 1-3 in his previous 4 fights coming into that fight versus Tyson Fury. You know, people knock the UFC. You would never see something like that in the UFC. You know, the best in the world versus a guy with a record like that, minus 2,000 favorite. You see that time and time again in boxing. It's like, oh, the big Canelo fight. Who's he fighting? Oh, it's some guy I've never heard of, and Canelo's a minus 750 favorite. And that's like the best your sport has to offer. Now, I know there's a lot of complaints about the UFC with fighter pay and stuff like that, but could you imagine how good boxing would be if they organized like the UFC is, and they had the best fighting the best on a regular basis? None of this ridiculous politics going on and fights that nobody cares about, and these fight cards where it's only one fight that you're paying for, the main event, a bunch of no-name guys on the undercard. People say, well, boxing makes all the money. Well, boxers, a very small group of people is making a lot of money in that sport, but boxing has never been more irrelevant. Like, Jake Paul gets more coverage than most of these guys, and he doesn't even box boxers. Celebrity boxing. So to me, that's frustrating because I think boxing is a great sport, but they just can't get out of their own way. It's embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, speaking of incompetence, something else I wanted to weigh in on. How about the New York Yankees there yesterday? Just god-awful timing. An example of an awful job reading the room. So the alerts are popping in on the phone. You probably had this experience as well. The Mets announced that they signed Justin Verlander. A lot of money, 2 years. Apparently the Yankees were interested as well. They lost out to the big brother. Not shortly after that, the Phillies, not satisfied with finishing runner-up in the World Series. Big signing, one of the top free agents, Trea Turner, probably the second best hitter on the free agent market, I would say, after Aaron Judge. Shortly after that, the Yankees announced a signing of their own. They re-signed general manager Brian Cashman. The timing of that was awful. Cashman is a guy that a lot of Yankees fans want the hell out of there. Does he have a lot of supporters among the Yankees fan base? You know, this guy's not able to give him the blank checks. He's not able to do a goddamn thing about it. Read the room, Yankees. Awful timing. Bury that. Announce it today, this morning. That was absolutely brutal, but I get a kick out of that because, you know, it's fun to make fun of the Yankees. Okay, moving on, guys. If you enjoy what we do here at Vegas Insider, I strongly recommend checking out the brand new Vegas Insider app. We've got up-to-date, easy-to-navigate odds for every major sport. We have all our latest shows, best bet videos, and podcasts, prop trends, features, news, all on the Vegas Insider app. Download the Vegas Insider app right now on Apple and Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Yeah! All right, baby. Winding right down. We go pretty quickly when it's just me here. But we got a viewer poll and some viewer picks. So we put out a poll on Twitter.com this morning. Follow VegasInsider.com on Twitter. Game of the night in the NBA. I actually side with the Lakers here. 57.4% of people like the home team, Cavs. Hey, the Lakers are playing really well lately, guys. You know, you can't dismiss that at all. You dig into the numbers, defensive end really good. They're shooting it pretty good too. And I don't care what anyone says. I know people don't like LeBron. A lot of people don't, or probably a lot of people do too. But the NBA is better if LeBron is on a winning team. So I kind of hope the Lakers can get back into it. You know, Anthony Davis, one of the bigger punching bags in the NBA. But yeah, you got to be fair. He's playing incredible lately. Maybe he can get himself into that top 10 player in the NBA conversation again. Needs to stay healthy. We'll see if that can happen. But yeah, I'll be tuning into that one. You guys know I'm on the under 225.5. Okay, let's get into some of your picks here for tonight. We put out the request, the call, the bat signal. Our guy Nathan Schreckengost. He likes the Senators' money line. Yeah, I like this too. Much different directions. The Kings are crumbling here. Ottawa 4-1 in their last 5. The Kings 2-6 in their last 8. You dig into the stats. Ottawa 3rd in expected goals for percentage, 3rd in Corsi, and 9th in high danger chances for percentage, 5-on-5 play. LA 19th, and 22nd. And if it's Jonathan Quick in net, a 425 goals against average. Geez, I might take a look at the Senators' team total. That one be interesting to see what that is at with them as the home underdog. So yeah, we wish Nathan good luck with that one. And we move on to see what's next here. Matty Puppy Sports. He's the Battle of Georgia. Georgia Tech, baby. Big ratings in the state of Georgia. At 132.5, that number's set at. Georgia has gone under in 5 of their last 6. Georgia Tech under in 6 of their last 7. So a bit of a trend play there for our guy Matty Puppy Sports. So we wish him good luck with that one. Cody Wells. He hit on a weirdo bet. What was it? Long Island State University. He faded them. Lowell, Massachusetts. Totally off the radar game, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you find good spots in those under the radar games that might not even be on TV. He's got another one here. Houston, minus 29. They're going to destroy North Florida. Cody followed this up. I think the spread moved up to minus 32. But you look at the numbers, you're standing out most. I like this one. He put Houston rebounds 40% of their own misses. And North Florida ranks 357th in defensive rebound. They played 2 high majors, Kentucky, Gonzaga. They lost by 40 and 41. So yeah, Houston's going to wipe the floor with them tonight. That's a good look from Cody. Let's keep rolling here, Tito. We have a few more to get to. This one I like. Good read here by our guy Ace. LeBron James over 26.5 points, minus 113. He's cleared this line in 9 of his career games played in Cleveland. And he loves to play back home. Yeah, I know sometimes we make fun of these motivational spots and this team's going to get up for this and they won't get up for this and this player this and that. But I think it's fair to say that LeBron James gets up for a game in Cleveland versus his old team. So yeah, I like that one. Over 26.5, quite a bit. Hopefully it doesn't impact my under bet too much. So good luck to our guy Ace. And we wrap things up with George M99, who's on New Jersey. I don't bet puck lines myself, but he's on the Devils minus 1.5, minus 140. That's juicy for a puck line, but a gigantic gap between these teams. The Blackhawks have lost by more than 2 goals in 8 of their last 9 losses. Their latest was a 3-0 loss at the Islanders on Sunday. The Hawks are playing terribly with an organization trying to pick up the pieces after so much turmoil. Yeah, what happened to the Chicago Blackhawks? They won a couple of Stanley Cups. I think they won those cups and they need to offload some payroll or something like that. But they've been just a complete and total disgrace ever since. You should learn from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Follow up your Stanley Cup wins by staying in the mix, right? So big disgrace there. Yeah, we'll hope that our CTP darling, the New Jersey Devils, can get back on track. Okay, guys, winding right down here, but not before today's handicapper heat check, presented by VegasInsider.com, your home for the best expert picks in the business since 1997. We have a double feature today with college basketball money leader Alex Smart, going 46-21 this season, and AAA Sports, who swept the board yesterday with a 3-0 record across all sports. Visit VegasInsider.com/picks for tonight's best bets. That's your handicap for heat check. Stay hot, bettors. Having trouble speaking today. That's important in my job, being able to speak and enunciate. But here I am in my basement having trouble speaking. Okay, guys, we're going to send you on your way, but keep things locked on the Vegas Insider YouTube channel. A lot of picks coming up, of course, for the NFL primetime games. Went 3-0 with my primetime picks last week. So we have standalone videos for all the primetime games that will be coming up. The Thursday Night Football one's up. I'm going to record the Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football one here momentarily. Also, UFC 282 coming up this weekend. I have an interview with UFC lightweight contender Mark, the Olympian, Madsen. We're going to be breaking down the top fights on that card. So that might be up later tonight, I think, potentially. And yeah, make sure you're following Vegas Insider on Twitter. Lots of great information there. So I wish you good luck with your picks tonight, unless you are fading me. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo!